Outer Orange.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I am not the most proudest of my recent videos for Shadowverse Beyond. I feel like I could have done a little bit better for the Worlds Beyond release. So today, welcome back guys, I'm gonna be making an in-depth guide on Havencraft, or into trying to rank or, you know, really do well. I think this is an extraordinary deck. It's the deck I've been primarily on, and this is a Haven aggro version of it. It's a little bit different from the regular Haven build. I think it's faster, I think it's way stronger in the meta, I think it's harder for your opponent to decide when you're gonna lethal them. Overall, I just think it's a really good deck. We're gonna go ahead and talk about it real quick, and then I'm gonna show you guys some gameplay as well. All right, fans. So first and foremost, I'm gonna show you guys the deck before I start explaining all the pieces. This is what it looks like. This is an aggro, what I call it the aggro cock Haven build, which basically it runs the cock as a kind of a finisher alongside with the griffin as well. So basically here we have amulets in the beginning where you kind of start off with amulets, but we also are running a lot of low cost cards. You'll notice I have a little bit of weird ratios because I have the cock and the Apollo in my build. I think Apollo is a super crucial piece of ranked ladder right now. If you're really trying to win, you really need this card. Sometimes you just have to out those early boards, and Apollo is one of the best cards to do it. If I could put this at 3, I would. I just don't have space for it just because of how tight the deck is. And next we have just some generics. This guy, you don't really fully use him just for like his effect. You actually sometimes just drop him on turn 2 just to have some kind of bodies on the board to start pushing damage. You want to push damage as much as you can, but you also want to be able to respect the board if you have to. That's basically kind of the point of this deck. Bellringer is here to kind of protect you when you need it. She also draws you cards. You can also evolve her with Olivia in order to get some more damage in. She does have a really good evolve effect. Unironically, this card's actually pretty nutso, which is really good. We also have the amulet generator here, which is the angelic prism, really useful. We have some other amulets that nuke board on top of some aggressive amulets here, like the Alvian statue, which becomes a 4/4. If you evolve it, becomes a 7/7, becomes very lethal if your opponent doesn't board up. We also have our stabilizer here, which is the Sophia, and I'll get to this in a second about why she's so important. You've got the unholy vessel to answer those insanely huge boards. This is probably the strongest card in the game right now in terms of full board wipe. No matter what your opponent drops, this card will go around it. It's insane. Even around barrier and weird keywords, whatever your opponent has, this card will nuke them all, and that makes this card one of the strongest cards in the game right now, in my opinion, aside from maybe the mech himself, and he's something you have to create. Next we have Olivia. This card lets you basically draw, recover 2, recover play points on top of that. She basically heals, draws, and recovers play points, so you can have some insane curve. You can drop her on 7, on 10, and still have 5 points to recover and play something else. Basically have both 5 points. She's really nuts. She sounds really mid on paper, but it's one of the best cards in the game as well. We also have the Griffin here. This is your finisher, sometimes finisher, just depends on the situation, how you set up with your amulets and what you're trying to accomplish. We have Jean as another board clear, and to buff up any of your amulet little statue people that you bring out. Whatever you bring out, this will help you buff them. If you prepare it correctly, you can actually make a really lethal board that your opponent has to out. And last but not least, we have Cocytus, which I'll explain a little bit why this card's so crucial for this deck and why you should be playing it. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. I am here all week. All right, fam, I have a really super crappy PowerPoint that's really not well done. I'm sorry for those who have OCD, but I really wanted to kind of give you guys a visual of what's important. These are the amulets you'll be running, and basically they all serve different purposes. We have the wing statue to be able to get you some storm, with the Alvian statue, which also gets you storm. We have the serene sanctuary to basically let you draw and stabilize if you need it. The dose of holiness is a clear. It basically lets you clear and also heals, very important. Back to the beast princess is another version of a rush card. This is really good if your opponent starts kind of aggroing you early. You can actually drop this and then instantly like push it out, and then let a 4/4 come out on the board, and it kind of answers a lot of like random early stuff. It's actually really good. I really underestimate how good this card is. And obviously I talk about the unholy vessel. It clears anything on the board. You can also lower its mana cost with some amulet reduction powers, so we'll also talk about that here in a little bit. Next we have the stabilizers. This is the cards that will help you stabilize if your opponent's pushing you like crazy. So early on, Apollo is one of the best stabilizers, as you can just drop him and then your opponent usually loses a lot of their momentum. The point of this deck is you want to maximize on your cards as much as possible. You want to use as least amount of cards to accomplish wiping your opponent's board as quickly as possible. Apollo is one of the best cards to do that with. Your opponent drops a bunch of fairies, bunch of ones. That's crazy. They're all gone. They just wasted 3 cards to do that while you wasted 1 card to do it. This is super important to know about how to min-max your abilities and what you're trying to do. Like I said, if you're using 3-4 cards off a board, that is super bad, and you should probably figure out what's going on, because that shouldn't be happening. You should be clearing with 1 to 2 cards maximum. If you're clearing with anything more, you're going to lose momentum and you're going to lose the game. Next we have Sophia. Now this is extremely crucial. This card basically on play lets you heal 3, and then you can evolve her and deal 3 to the whole board. This is super important because, again, it's another stabilizer. It's basically a better version of Apollo, but on top of the fact, she also heals, and she also has better stat line, and she has a ward on top of that, which is also super important. Your opponent can't get to you because they have to clear her first, and this is super good on a 5-mana play. One of the best cards to see in your opening hand because you really need it. She helps you so much to stabilize as well, and then obviously we have the Unholy Vessel, which also lets you stabilize like crazy. Your opponent starts mega evolving, doing whatever cool, you just drop this card and go, yeah, go away. So these are your stabilizers in case you're starting to get low on health, you're getting pushed really fast, which will happen against the sword matchups, against some early mech matchups. Some people play really aggressively. They're trying to just push you to a certain interval of damage, that way they can close out with a card like an Albert or a Storm card, whatever it is. They're trying to close out, so they're trying to push as much early damage out of you, so that way you're forced to whip out all your weapons, basically, as well as to call it. Keep in mind, people know Haven's a control deck, so they're going to try and force you to play more control than aggro. They're going to force you to have to answer their board before you get to their face, so that's something people are going to do against you, so you have to know how to answer that. Next, we have some early game. So your early game should be Leah, which is the Bell Ringer, should be the Angelic Prism, should be the Priestess. It can also be the Apollo. You can also just drop him and keep him as like an early card, and also the Beast amulets, that the 2 cost. It also can be like some early pressure as well. Basically, these cards are ways to start putting cards on the board, and your opponent has to start answering. If they're not answering, you can also go face. If you have Sophia, that card I was talking about earlier, you can actually take some damage and still go face to theirs, and then sometimes they won't know it. You just drop the Sophia and you just board clear them. Basically what happens is they're thinking that you don't have an out to their board, so they're going to start dropping bodies left and right, evolving, doing all this crazy stuff, and then you drop the Sophia and you board wipe them. So it's a really good punishing play that you can do against your opponent. It really helps, but keep in mind, you got to be careful how you do it. You don't want to go too low on damage too quickly, and then you don't want to be at too low health and randomly die because of that. And also keep in mind the matchups you're facing, some heal up and kind of have ways to heal out, so you have to keep on lookout for that as well. We have the late game. The late game is basically your Griffin, your Jean, and your Olivia. Olivia is more like a mid to late game type of thing, and then the Griffin and their Jean will be a lot of the cards you'll be dropping mid to late game as well. The Griffin is basically your closeout. The Jean is another form of a late game stabilizer, I would say, because she basically wipes the board and then she buffs your board. A really, really broken card, by the way. So really, really strong here and all that kind of fun stuff. So, and then Olivia, she's insane. Like if you drop an early amulet perfectly and then the amulet pops on like her 7-mana play, or if you're on 6 and you get the additional point going second, you can basically evolve that Storm card and then evolve her, and then basically swing face and then also swing to a dude if you need to. She also, like I said, heals you, draws you, and recovers play points on top of that, so you can drop like a Bell Ringer under her because you'll have the 2 extra play points. Drop an amulet to set up for a Jean turn or a Griffin turn. You have so many ways to set up with her. It's absolutely insane. Very, very nutso card. Definitely recommend it. And last but not least, let's talk about the Caulk. One of the strongest cards in the game as well. I know I mentioned this a lot. There's a lot of strong cards, but this is a card that's being utilized a lot right now in the ranked ladder. A lot of people are starting to figure out what the powerhouse of this card is. Basically, this card is really weird. It just says you drop it and you get a new deck. It's 10 new cards. They're completely different from your deck. You lose your deck completely and you get this new Apocalypse deck instead. Basically, the Apocalypse deck has a bunch of really good cards in it. Some put your opponent to 1 where they can't heal. Some have Storm on them. Some have a thing where they nuke like 2 dudes on the board and also deal 6 to your leader. There's some other cards that there's like a 1-drop that's a 13/13. It can't attack that turn, but it's 13 damage a person has to, deal with, or they have to out it. And by the time the late game happens and you drop this card, people are starting to run out of ways to clear your board. So this comes up a lot. Now, why is this so important? The reason why it's so important is because we have amulets that draw us cards. So what you can do is you can set up those amulets, you can drop them, and then what you can drop him first, proc the amulets, and guess what? You just drew like maybe like 2/3, like maybe a third of your deck, of the new deck, by the way. And now you have all these new tools to use where you can just knock out your opponent instantly. So it's very important. Rune is also doing this. It's also something they do where they basically redraw their hand with their dimension shift after they drop the Cocytus, and guess what? Now they have all these Apocalypse cards. Now they can use the Apocalypse cards. So this is a very, very good card. It's very important to mirrors, very important into certain decks. Also, some decks play the card and sometimes you have to respect it, so you have to also drop yours. Sometimes they'll drop theirs, so you have to drop yours too. So it does happen. This is a very scary card. You definitely need to know to play around it. I kid you not, guys, literally last night I played through an Apocalypse deck that they got 9 cards out. Like they were down to 1 card in their deck. 9 cards were out, and I lived through all of it under the Aggro Haven deck that I'm showing you guys right now. Because I also dropped my Cocytus, And then I just drew faster because I procced my amulets. It was against dragon. They were drawing 1 card. I drew like 3 and I just started dropping dudes and I barely survived and I won the game. Go ahead and go into some gameplay and kind of just talk about everything. Before I go into that, I do want to say this is not a cheap deck. This is definitely a deck that if you're just really liking the game, you're really playing it, I would invest into it right now, but it is definitely not a cheap one. It's definitely, there's not really too many budget options. This is a very specific type of deck. But yeah, let's go into some gameplay. All right, I've been having some awful time recording because every single time I try to record, either they quit or I get really it's been some weird games and my power went out. On top of that, we're gonna try and get some footage out today. I'm trying my hardest here to get some decent footage out where people aren't quitting randomly through or my power is not going out. So we'll try our best. So we're facing Rune. Let's go ahead and see how this goes. So Rune is probably the hardest matchup for us because of Huan. That turn is pretty brutal. They can also heal back up really well. So that'll be that. We might just keep these cards just for a little early aggro and then just send away that. And we're kind of a weird hand, but it'll give us a lot of good trading. So we'll have good trading stuff going on here. Because usually early on they just draw a couple cards, so it'll give us some time to basically set up. So we are just gonna go ahead and auto drop this just to start getting some early damage in. We could use a draw card. Like hopefully this Prism will draw us a card because we definitely could use it. Okay, looks like they're not doing anything this turn. So ooh, Apollo's actually really good here. We're definitely gonna drop this just to get the 4/4 out pretty early on. It'll be really good for us. Next turn we can drop the Pact and the Wings. It looks like they're just drawing more cards, which is I think absolutely excellent for us. That's kind of what we want them to do, is just not do anything. We could actually proc the Tiger now, and then we can then drop another Tiger, and they have to respond to everything, so let's see how they react to this. Next turn we can also hopefully get the Draw Amulet, which will be really good for us. I don't know what's going on over there. They're just drawing a ton of cards. Holy moly. Are they about to eat like 6 damage? Is that what's about to happen? Okay, they have something, but I don't think that's really enough for them to do anything with it, because we're about to force more damage in their face. We could even evolve this and kind of really go in, but I think that's better that we do have the Siren now. Huh, a couple options actually. They should start entering our board here shortly, but we could evolve this and be extra annoying. And I think that might be the play, because yeah, we can then whip out this and swing with that for the little guy. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're just gonna swing face. I also could have now that I think about it, I could have evolved him and swung, but 8 damage just sounds so much better. Let's proc this. Gonna take this and go here, and then we're going to probably just play the 2 amulets we have, and then just engage them to make them come out a little bit faster. Specifically with the draw, we really want. So they do have to answer quite a bit. They have the ability to evolve here, so they should be able to clear 2 bodies relatively quickly. But yeah, they're kind of on the back burner right now. Let's see what she does. So she gets a Golem out, and then it deals X damage equal to the number of golems on the field. So she'll be able to kind of clear a little bit, which is good for them. That's kind of what they want. And then they're also healing, and then we can Apollo them next turn, just to kind of answer some of the stuff that they're going for, which is perfectly fine. So we're at 5 now. So we have a couple approaches here. I think we definitely want to answer the golems. So I think we're probably gonna double golem here. The only downside is I really want to proc these. Let's just draw cards, see what happens. Draw 2, I should say. See what it gets us. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely going for the golem for this play here. I think this is better. I'm here to spread the love. Let's just go ahead and clear real quick. Get the body out, and then we're probably just gonna speed up this right here, and then just pass turn. So we have a really good 7 mana play because we'll be able to Olivia into this, which will give us a good bit of damage, but they might drop the girl, the Onangrea here, and Onangrea will basically slow us down a turn, but that's okay too. So it is an Onangrea play, which was expected. Onangrea is perfect here for a little bit of protection, so that's, you know, probably the best play they could have done. So they did drop that, which is a little bit more toxic for us to have to clear that and go for. We still Olivia here, but it's kind of a little bit awkward for us because we have to clear this. This thing's too big. So I think we just have to draw and hope for the best here. That's kind of what we have to do. They're starting to kind of recover a little bit, which isn't good for us. So we are gonna go ahead and pop this. We're gonna evolve this to get them out.
Behold divinity. Even fate shall fall to this blade.
So unfortunately, we do have to we can only answer 2 things this turn, but it's fine. The Onangrea unfortunately will have to live. They're still taking some damage, and they have to be aware of that. But they can now evolve this, which will deal 3 damage, which isn't the best for us, but it's the best we can do. So we're gonna have to work with what we have. If we had a Holy Grail, would have been really good there. Okay, so they're going for the Kuon play. We still don't have a Grail, which is not good for us. We might be eating a lot of damage here. We could probably use these to kind of clear up a little bit, but it won't be enough to really get us through. We could also do this to kind of clear up, but it'll still really hurt. They are going to have to answer the board a little bit here, but they're probably going to go this here, or sorry, this here. And then they do have also the brush guys that can slam into things and clear, and they also can get damage to our face as well. So this is definitely going to be a hurtful turn. Okay, so yeah, they're clearing their dudes a little bit, which is fine. That means we're taking less damage, so I'll take it. So we're not taking the full beat down, but still, this is 10, 12 damage on the board, and we can only clear about a small portion of it. We can't clear it all. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Let me think here. So 5, use a 5 mana play. Or we double down on this, but this still won't clear everything. Something will still stay on the board. Either way, something's living, and that kind of is not good for us. We did not open the best. We kind of opened a weird curve here. We were doing really good, but now the curve got weird. That's okay. So we're just gonna have to do this. We're just gonna have to eat the 6 and just accept it and just drop the tiger, and hopefully we'll see how they respond. Also, in case they don't do anything super crazy, we also have the Sacred Griffin as well, but looks like they opened a lot of high-end, and that's why we're seeing a lot of more high-end stuff happen here. But we'll see what they do. They're healing, that's fine. Not much else we can do about that, we kind of just like accept that they're healing.
You won't believe your magic
So just gonna get some golems to probably wipe this, or try to wipe this, basically. Okay, so that's going there. That's fine. That's honestly kind of perfect. That's not what I was expecting them to do. I was expecting a little bit of a different turn, which is good for us. I think we should Jean here and pass, unironically. I really want to do something else, but I don't think we can. So yeah, we just drop the Jean and pass. So they have to respect the Jean. Now the downside here is if they kill on us again, we are so screwed because we don't have an out. That answers that. They could just coup on now, really, if they have it. I don't know. I don't know the exact curve levels. Okay, they're going for an Angrea turn. That's fine. Honestly, what I might end up doing is I might just set up a pass. I think I might do exactly that, because now that I know that this disappears, I don't actually care so much for it. So yeah, I think I might just do that. So honestly, so yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop this. We're gonna drop this. You guys are gonna get the weirdest person ever, but this is just what we have to do sometimes. Because this is only 4 damage, as long as we don't have a coup on top of that, we're okay. We're probably gonna drop the Bellringer too. Oh, we can actually clear one. So yeah, we'll just be able to clear the board completely here. So yeah, I think we're fine here. So let's go proc 1 and just clear the Angrea. And we don't have to work for this at all because it just doesn't matter that it's there. Yes, we are good. With our 1 floating mana. Like I said, we had a really awkward curve here. So if they don't set up a Kuon turn, we could just freely Sacred Griffin, and that'll start getting some damage in, but they are going for the Kuon, which hurts us. We really, really desperately need a Grail. I'm gonna hope that this Angelic Prism will get us the Grail, because we desperately are gonna need it here. So they're gonna answer the ward and then go 10 face, which is very nasty. So hopefully this will draw us a Grail, or potentially this will auto-draw us a Grail. We just need anything but the draw card, so that's not a Grail, which is not good for us. We really need a Grail. Still not a Grail, which is actually kind of rough. We can answer the board, which I think is what we're gonna have to do here. Like I said, we can't answer the board. Not really, like I said, the most ideal play, but we can't answer the board. We have 2 plays here. We either drop this and hope we open the Grail, or we drop this and guarantee the kill, at least the board clear, which I think is what we're gonna have to go for, and hope that they don't have a third one. So we are gonna have to use this here, unfortunately. Oh, why? Oh, it has. Oh, that hurts my soul. I have to smack into it. That's so unfortunate. I forgot it has Aura. Okay, we're just gonna tell them the best. Just have to hope they don't have another Kuon. Oh, they're going for the cock display. Okay, so we really need a Grail desperately now, and now the dimension shifting, which sucks. They could just win here. If they get the right card, they could just win here. There's a 5-drop that just deals 6, and if they have 2 of those, they just win automatically. So we'll have to see if they have it. This Angelic Prism better get us a Grail or we're screwed. Okay, so they don't have it. That's good. That's fine. I do have that, which means it's gonna kill off my Sean. And I'm taking 6. So that gives me hope that we might be able to get. Oh, we're so close to lethal. It's not even funny. Give me a Grail.
Someone needs some justice. To the face.
Oh my god. Yeah, we just die here. There's absolutely nothing we can do. We can draw, but
Forth into an endless
the Grail
sky.
costs 6, so it doesn't matter. Still on a Grail, by the way. We healed, but it doesn't matter. It just
Here to hear the good word.
basically.
Now.
That is what it is.
Let
We
us
played to our
play.
best. We really needed a Grail. This usually is kind of our roughest matchup nowadays, so especially with this Cocytus play, it's really, really good. So it is what it is. They're gonna set us to 1 and then just kill us. I don't know why they're even doing this. They already have game. We really opened awkward curve where we had to play super weirdly, so it is what it is. But let's go and play another game. That wasn't too bad. That did showcase the deck a little bit. It is, I will say, Rune is the toughest matchup for this deck right now, just because people swapped off the regular build and went into like the Cocytus build, and it's definitely way stronger than the regular build, in my opinion. Alright, so we're going second into Dragon, which is usually rough if they open like a bunch of Dragon signs. They can just randomly go to 10 and just start dropping a Cocytus. It hurts a lot, but we'll see how they open. This is a pretty decent opening hand to deal some of their early aggression that they might have, depending on how they open as well. So this is pretty okay. We can deal with this. I'm probably gonna drop a Bell Ringer. I'm not even gonna lie. So let's see. Let's see if this is the Othahime build. They didn't put it down yet, so we're just gonna drop this into the pass.
Ding dong. Watch where you spout that fire.
Okay, so they're playing for the Intimidate play, which is fine. We're just gonna have to drop this
Here to hear the
and
good word. Now.
do that. This is perfectly fine. This is good for us because next turn we can just Apollo whatever they have here, and we're not taking any damage either. So if they decide to play more cards like they're doing, this is fine. We're gonna take 2, and then we're just gonna Apollo. That's okay. So let's go ahead and just Apollo here. I'll clear all that. Which is perfect. They just wasted a bunch of momentum there that they kind of just played to. They did with the best they could. It's fine. So they're gonna get out another one. We can just evolve our Apollo and it's just to clear the board again. So that's probably what we're gonna end up doing. So we're at 4 now. Doing a bunch of that's a bunch of guys. That is a bunch of guys, which is true. By that I mean a bunch of holies. So I'm trying to think here what the play is. So we evolve this to clear and probably just swing in and then just get another draw engine going. We can also drop the Falcon. Just double check that. So I'm actually just gonna swing face here because we have the selfie, and yeah, I think we can honestly play this and be okay. So let's go ahead and play this. I'm okay. We're gonna heal back our damage anyway, whatever they decide to play out next turn. So that's fine.
A little kindness goes a long way.
So they're going for this play. They're just going to go over swing for 6. That's okay. We can take the 6. It means that this is probably living, and I'm okay with it, in all honesty. Okay, they did let that live, which is pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. I would not have let that live. I think that's not the smartest idea. Let's heal back up.
Brace
Go ahead and
yourself.
set up. So we're gonna kill the guy that they played, and then we are gonna have to lose our guy for it, which is okay, and then we're gonna take that. So next turn is probably a Grail turn. Oh, they're going for the 4K. That's okay. They're gonna evolve and swing. We do have to outer with an Unholy, unfortunately, and that's just how it's not gonna have to be. Not much we can do. Let's see what we draw it to. We actually can outer without the Holy, which is actually really good. I'm trying to think if we have like, a way to set up a ward, and we don't, which could hurt us. Like a lot, actually. We don't have a way to set up a ward, so we're just gonna have to clear this the normal way. So that clears her. We're really gonna have to hope that they just don't have a secondary forte to kind of kick our ass here, so we're just gonna have to go for it here. I could have evolved the Eagle. That's okay. I always forget to do that. It's something I'm like always like, oh, I don't need to. It can already attack, and it's like, well, I should be evolving it anyway. So let's this will be a good for Jean. I'm debating if I just hold on to the playpoint, the additional playpoint thing. I think I do, because we'll be able to play Jean next turn if we have a next turn. We'll see. We'll see if they can kill us next turn or not. They might be able to. You never know. But we'll have the extra playpoint to go instantly into Jean if they do anything super nasty. Now, so their play here would either be Garyu. Oh, they don't have Garyu. Garyu's an 8 mana play. They did not. So they could do another Forte play, another Storm play. We might potentially have game if they don't clear here. I'm sure they're aware of this. So ideally, if they do nothing, we just kind of auto win. The less they do, the better for us here. As long we can set up better. Okay, so they're gonna go for a clear here. That's good. That's kind of what they need to do. But that's not a dude. So let's see what they're trying to go for. I'm surprised this Apollo has lived as long as it has. Now that I think about it, this thing's been alive for a while. In honesty, they kind of got a little aggressive. So that's kind of on them. So it looks like we are gonna go for the Jean play guaranteed now. We're taking 1 damage. That's fine. So they're setting up for lethal here, which will probably be Forte. So what we're gonna have to respond with is with a Jean, because we have nothing else to respond with. So we're gonna have to Jean this out. But yeah, let's get the Jean out. We don't really have a choice. We have to clear. I'm almost even tempted to Super Evolve her just to make sure she stays. It's just a little bit harder for them to clear her. I think we need her to just stay. So let's go ahead and do that. We do have an insane setup for a Griffin here if we live that long. Ooh, ow, ow, ow. Oh, that was it. I hope that doesn't kill me. Please don't kill me. Oh, okay. So we just basically just won the game. Oh no, we only have 8. No, we're so close to victory. Oh, they're out of evolves though, so as long as they don't have another storm card, I think we still win. Unfortunate. I thought we could do both, but we can't, unfortunately. So we have a couple options again. I think we do need to play the Jean one more time and kind of just try to answer it this way. The issue with the Jean is, oh, she's a 9/9, so that'll be perfect. So we do need to Jean here. Not the way I like to do it, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So let's go ahead and get her out again. Now next turn, if they don't do anything, we definitely have certified lethal, but it just depends on what they do. If they go for a Garyu turn, we're definitely screwed. If they can't Mega Evolve anymore, but if they have another one of those sharks, we just auto lose. Okay. But they can't Shark anymore, but they can Forte, I think, here. And Forte would be the Depth Plus. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Now we officially have potentially game. Oh, we could not have drawn a better... Oh, no, we're still short. We're still short. This hurts my soul, man. We're so close. We could just Griffin anyway. And just kind of, you know, go that way. It's kind of weird. We're kind of in a pickle. We're in a little bit of a pickle, but we do need some kind of we need some kind of word on the board. So let's go. We have to answer this no matter what. So this will come down.
I leave the rest
and then we're gonna have to drop this and then drop this. And we're just gonna have to hope that they can't out this. We do have the Unholy. So let's see what they do. They only have 2 cards in hand, so we should be able to get them. We've been so close to lethal, it's not even funny. Like, this Griffin would have been lethal if we could have procced the amulet. Okay, so they gave up, so I guess they didn't have a way to clear it, which is fine. Ideally, we would have unholyed whatever they called out if we had to do it that way, but yeah. They're facing against Forest. This matchup's kind of rough too, I'm not even gonna lie. We're sending back everything. We don't need any of those cards. We're going first, so we have pretty decent curve right now. We have the Serene, and we can go into the Bildo. And then hopefully we also have a way to answer early board in case they get a little nasty there. So we're just gonna drop this and pass.
Care to hear the good word? How does one don't?
It's fine, we can just drop this and pass. Ideally, there's this one card that they like to bounce that we don't want living. This one's okay. The live for a turn. There's another card that's really good that we want to clear if we see it. And that's definitely not the card. So that's good for us. We have a dose here, we can clear this. Honestly, it's not hurting us right now. They can't evolve it or anything like that, but they can bounce it. So I think that's our biggest fear here. So we're gonna go face here. It might be a little greedy. Honestly, it might not be bad to just clear it now because of the... It's just the fact that they can bounce it back. We don't really want that. Also they have first dibs on the evolve, so... Okay, so this would have been the card that could have used the bounce back, so that's another reason why I really didn't want them getting access to that, just because of that exact play. And honestly, it might not be bad to get rid of the other one too, but we'll see.
Leave it all to me.
could drop the bird here too. If we drop this, then we have to basically waste the turn killing off this, or we drop the bird and present a better situation in a turn or two. I think that might be better, so let's just drop it here. They have a chance of bouncing this. I'm okay with them swinging at me because we can then just selfie. And then that'll just get us out of whatever situation that we were in, so that's fine too. I'm also okay with them proccing this on this. I don't think this card's like that crazy, just to answer, you know, 2/2, so we'll see. They also have the ability to evolve here, so they can evolve this and then maybe drop 2 bodies or something like that, clear this with like a fairy or something, so they definitely have a couple options.
You're in the splash zone, pal.
Okay, so it looks like they are setting up a board. So they get some damage in. They're probably gonna evolve one of these.
To you.
They didn't actually, then evolve. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna clear it all. I mean, that's just how it is. All that damage just didn't matter now, and this is our stabilizer basically. So let's stabilize and. Okay, so next turn we have. There's gonna be kind of a mid turn that we're gonna set up where we're gonna have this, and we're gonna have like nothing else. We'll be able to clear a guy, and that's basically it. So we're just gonna enter in there. Ideally, what we want to do is we want to be able to play these out for the Olivia or the Jean, but they're probably going to set up a pretty nasty board here in a second. So they don't have super evolve yet, so we're okay for a little bit, but we'll see. If we have to do this and this, I think that's okay too. Ideally, we just want to get our boys out, our homies out. They can also like evolve something useful. They could also go for a pixie play here, like a lily play, where they put this to 1 and then answer it with a fairy. So they have a couple different ways they can approach this turn. They only have 5 cards in hand. I think economy-wise not doing too hot, but they also have this that lets them draw every turn, so they'll eventually get there. They have to be a combo 3/4, but it's not that hard to do that with this deck.
Let's play a game.
Okay, so they're going for the fairy, so that's combo 1 for them. It looks like they are trying to, I guess, set up a combo. I don't know if they meant to do that. I genuinely don't know if they meant to do that or not. Guess we just evolve this. Swing 11.
Twirly whirly.
And then we just set up for, basically what I wanted to set up for. Because next turn we're going to 7. So this will give us... I'm gonna get as close to the Griffin as possible. I think we'll do like this. And then this will proc for Olivia. So they're either at 5, which is really scary for them. I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe they're bricking. I'm not too sure. But usually it does happen sometimes. Sometimes you just want to combo and you can't because maybe you're holding like a higher cost card or something. It is possible. It's a hard call to figure out what they were trying to accomplish. Because the only thing I like is they can never see the opponent's hand at the end, like what they had. But it is what it is. They are about to lose here if they don't out all of this though. But they are in super evolve, so they can probably definitely answer these two. They should be able to anyway. And then we can Olivia and kind of push for game potentially. We'll see. The best way to Griffin is to have this and okay, so they're going for an Olivia play too. So they're definitely gonna answer both cards. Yep.
Twinkle with your wings, twinkle with your toes.
So we're gonna take 2 damage here, which is fine. We're gonna recover it back with our own Olivia.
Even fate shall fall to this blade.
Nap time.
Okay, so that's honestly fine. We can just quite literally do the same play. Actually, we even have a better play because we even have the Bellringer as well, which might be even better for us to go for the Bellringer here. Perfect. It's just the hand just keeps getting better and better. I'm almost debating if I want to drop this just to have the extra draw. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go for. I think we're gonna go for the extra draw, or we set up for a tiger because we already have 2 tigers. I think this is fine. We already have that 1 card on the board, so let's go ahead and ding dong this.
Behold divinity.
So they're about to take 2 again. Basically, we just evened them out. Oh, she's at 3. Yeah, that's fine. It's more damage for this.
Follow my lead.
It's fine. We'll lose our tiger. We'll just lose that.
1, 2.
We're gonna lose one or the other. I guess we lose the tiger. Ideally, then the pack would have been better. I thought she was a 4 for some reason. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. That's okay. I just wanted to draw some cards.
Isn't the forest beautiful.
So they just get some good amulets for them, or good spells, whatever those cards are. We do have lethal if they don't set up a ward in this upcoming turn. I'll have to see, because we actually, I say this every time, but we have the Griffin and we have the amulet on the board. This is like the best combo because this is free to play versus, and they give up. I'm assuming they couldn't out everything. I don't actually know if they could have out anything right now, but I'm guessing that's what happened. They couldn't out everything and not lose. So that would make sense there. So I guess that wasn't the best board representation. I'm guessing they're kind of getting screwed up there or something. I don't really know. But I'm going to leave it there. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed that. That was probably the best gameplay. I had better, but unfortunately my power went out and I lost about an hour of footage, so it is what it is. I officially have to stop recording, so this is probably the best footage I can give you guys. There's plenty more. I promise the deck's pretty insane. It's really, really good. And I'm not even the best pilot on it. I'm still learning Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. I'm not used to this kind of playstyle. I'm used to Evolve, which is a little bit different. There's a lot of interaction between when your opponent does stuff. You can kind of answer stuff. Where in this game, you have to kind of play. You have to play a little bit. It's more of a numbers game. The numbers game, but it's a little bit different. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think this deck's really cool. It's really awesome. It's not the best deck in the format by far, but it's really, really close. I think it does have some rough matchups here and there. I think mainly Rune. I guess Rune and Beck might be its worst matchups. It just depends on how you open though and what they're opening. So it's kind of like a weird kind of toss back and forth. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. Like and subscribe. VideoCards.shop if you're into physical card games or anything like that. He's got a bunch of stuff for Evolve and for other card games as well. Check it out. Code Orange for that. And then you can also save yourself some money with some supplies if you need anything at BCWSUPPLIES.com using my orange code 10. And that, guys, as always, thank you for all the support and see you guys in a future video. Bye.